I'm Meredith Goldstein. I write Love Letters, the advice column for the Boston Globe and Boston.com. We just had our second anniversary of Love Letters, so I decided it would be a great time to look back and figure out some stats. What are all these problems and what do they say about what's going on in our love lives? 8% of all of the letters were about money. That doesn't sound like a lot. I actually thought it would be more, but 8% is still a lot, so money problems are big. 17% were about breakups in general, 4% involved drug and alcohol, 3% of our letters are about office romances, and I'm actually shocked it's not more. We've had letters written by people who have been dating their bosses in secret for years, so that does happen a lot. 10% of all of our letters were about Facebook, technology, internet dating, text messages, anything that dealt with technology and the internet. One of the most common issues I get is something we all like to call FOMO, fear of missing out, which is basically a letter written by somebody who says, I've got a really great relationship, but is there anybody better out there, or am I missing out on anybody? Or if I marry this person in 5 years, am I going to want to sleep with that guy over there? So FOMO letters are quite big, and 11% of our letters were actually FOMO related. A lot of people ask me where our letter writers come from. Most of them do come from Boston. 40% of the letter writers were from inside of Boston, at least that's what they say. 27% were from other parts of the state, and a few were from New York. A lot of people went to college here, now live in New York and check in. 52% of our letters were written by women, 15% were written by men, and the rest, well, I don't know what they are, because they didn't tell me, so could be anybody. A lot of our letter writers like to come up with a pseudonym for their, well, not only themselves, but for their significant other. So a fake name for their girlfriend or boyfriend. For whatever reason, the most common fake name used for boyfriends is Joe. Second place is Tom. The most popular letter of the second year of Love Letters was called He Sleeps on the Couch. That was the headline. It was from a woman whose husband slept on the couch every night and didn't come to bed, and it made her feel very lonely. That wasn't the letter that received the most number of comments. That letter was His Clock is Ticking. That was about a guy who seemed to want to start a family but then sort of changed his mind, so that angered people a lot. The second most popular letter was from a woman whose boyfriend had gone naked hot tubbing with people in his old college town, and she wanted to know if it counted as cheating. And a lot of readers felt very differently than I did about what constitutes cheating and whether or not taking off your clothes and jumping in a hot tub is cheating. In that case, I said no. A lot of people said yes. We have some real favorite commenters who everyone loves. The Real J Bar, who is a daily commenter on Love Letters, received the most number of recommends in the comment section, over 400 sometimes in a day. Sally, Twinster, It Doesn't Matter What I Think, that's one person's name. These are all people who every day get the most number of recommends for their comments, so they're quite popular, a lot of times even more popular than me. I think people are interested in what I have to say, but only a little bit. I think, I'm just the first piece of advice of the day, but then you can get your letter answered by 200, 300, 400, 500 extra people who might give their own experiences and share their own take on the issue. So it's really like the biggest group therapy I think anybody can participate in, because you get people from all walks of life weighing in, and for the most part, people are very respectful, and where in life can you get that many opinions about your personal problems?